What's up, guys? And we have another episode of Steins Gate Zero under our belts, and it was a great episode. Holy crap. So, number one, we have a new opening. We have a brand new opening, sort of. They pulled a bit of a Gurren Lagann and did the second half of the song, kind of the second verse and everything of the song, and used it with a new opening, which I like. I have no problems with that because this opening was awesome. We've got some new character designs. Okabe's got a bit more of like a science-y, like, kind of a nice dress shirt, but he's got the sleeves rolled up like he's ready to work. Darrow's got a tank top with suspenders on, and the character changes across the board for the design, like their outfits. It was kind of cool to see. It livens things up because they didn't really change the character designs at all through the entire run of the first Steins Gate series. So it was cool to kind of see this refresh sometime here in the middle, which it makes me think that that's kind of going to be the look for the characters for a while as they go into the future and what will probably inevitably be World War III with, you know, all the craziness going on. But it was kind of neat to see the design. I don't want to fixate on that too long, but we did get to see, because I really want to see how they're going to do this in the series, but we got to see some hints at the video that Okabe sent to himself in the first Steins Gate series, which was so cool. I love the fact that, like, eventually it will piece together to that. And that scene alone, both in the sub and the dub, is my favorite scene out of that entire series because it is such a badass moment of realization for both Okabe in that series and future Okabe, realizing that him not doing anything to save Kuretsu and just moping around and following the world and not breaking the status quo is not him. It's a realization on both characters' ends, and I love that scene for that reason. But I'm focusing a little too much on the opening, aren't I? But going into the actual episode, we kind of... It's been months, number one. It's been months since Kagari has gone missing. We see kind of a catch-up point where, you know, Okabe and Darrough find Suzuha, and, you know, they have no idea where Kagari is now. And Okabe and everybody went, you know, desperately searching for her, and we never really found her. At least not yet, but that comes later. And we see that Okabe is in a cafe, which I love the fact that they have the little emojis of the characters. That's, anyway. But we see Okabe in a cafe. Mayuri texts him. She shows up. She's in a schoolgirl uniform, which was kind of cool. I don't know if that's her character design change or if that was just her coming back from school. I don't know. But we see that he was studying, trying to get into, I guess, the school where Leskinen, or the school to help study with Leskinen and Maho. But that was kind of neat. The thing that I'm wondering, though, is... Because in the Steins Gate world line, or in the Beta world line, Okabe is captured and is forced to make a time machine, if I remember correctly. But in Zero, I wonder if him going and being a part of this school, if Leskinen is the bad guy, which I'm wondering, if Leskinen is the bad guy in reality, is this how Okabe gets enlisted and, you know, forced to make a time machine? I don't know. I'm just guessing, but that was kind of something I was wondering. But speaking of time machines, we have Darrough and Suzuha trying to convince Maho to come to Japan and join them and help them make the time leap machine, since they can't use the actual time machine, since traveling any more with it will deplete the batteries or deplete the fuel, and it's all over at that point. So it was kind of interesting to see... Well, number one, she was completely embarrassed because she was talking to them, like, half awake, and she sees herself in the mirror. She's like, I was talking to them like that, oh my gosh! You know, like, it was hilarious. But yeah, so they're trying to enlist her to help with the time machine. We also see that Fubuki went to the hospital again for something. We don't know what exactly. I think she said it was like some tests or something like that, but of course everybody rushes to the hospital. And Darrough shows up, and it's hilarious to see Darrough interacting with Yuki because she is into him, and he knows what the future holds thanks to Suzuha, so he knows that she's gonna marry him at some point. But it's like it's like how do you manage, how do you deal with that, knowing that you're talking with, you know, your future baby mama And I mean, other than like his way of interacting or dealing with it is just to hide his face and be like, "Hi," you know, like that kind of thing, which is super awkward. She's completely into him, which I love. But anyway, so we have that, which was kind of neat. But we see that Suzuha goes into, well, we thought she went into the shower to rinse off, when in reality she set a trap, which I don't know how she would have known. I really don't know how she would have known, other than perhaps she found the one Upa, and I'm wondering if because she found that Upa, she figured something was off, because she knows it's precious to Kaguri, which means that Kaguri would be nearby. I don't know. But anyway, she set a trap, and motorcycle helmet lady shows up with a knife, and Suzuha points gun, says, move, step in here, has her take the helmet off. She takes the helmet off, and it's Kaguri. It's Kaguri, but the thing is, it hasn't been Kaguri before, because Kaguri was at the shrine when they were first attacked, or no, when they were attacked the second time, when Maho, Daru, and Okabe were attacked. She was at the shrine, and then the first time, same person, but they were coming after Kaguri. So I don't know what is happening exactly with her, but anyway, it's very clear that like she's being controlled by somebody else. She has been brainwashed, so she's being controlled by somebody else she doesn't want to be, because it's kind of clear throughout the fight that she recalls, she knows, like, you're hurting. She's saying to Suzuha, like, you're hurting me. She seems very childish in that regard, but then she ends up like cutting Suzuha in the stomach, like grazing her, as Suzuha said, but still like cutting her, and not attacking Daru. But she was crying when that happened, so it was interesting to see. And they decided not to tell Okabe, because otherwise he would go and search for her even more again. We also ran into Leskinen at the hospital. Side note, he took some pictures with Okabe and sent them to Maho. And after that whole debacle happened with Kaguri, they tried contacting, Suzuha and Daru tried contacting Maho again, to try to convince her to come and help them a second time. And at this point, she is kind of like, I'm not sure what to do. What should I do? That kind of thing. Like, she was kind of conflicted as to like what she should do. And what ends up happening is she decides, like, she's like, I'm not going to, copy Kurisu's work. I'm going to follow the same path and reach the conclusion on my own. Which I love that idea, because at the end, they played the ending, and I don't really know what to make of the ending. Like, there was a lot more that you could get out of the first ending visually. Like, there was a whole lot of stuff that you could get out of that with the way they showed it. But this season of anime seems to be the season of characters walking in the ending. Like, you have this with Kurisu walking away from the camera, and then you got like My Hero Academia with Izuku walking towards the camera. So I don't know what exactly is going on with the walking character endings, but I thought for a minute that it was going to be like Kurisu walking, fades away, and then Maho steps past, but I don't know what to make of it. But yeah, it looks like, so Maho's going to follow the same path as Kurisu and work on making this time travel, like this, either the time leap machine or a time machine, and, go down that same path but come to her own conclusion, which I really like. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot left to say about this episode. I'm curious to see where it's going to go from here. Obviously, I always am, because I love seeing new bits of the show and new things coming out and all that stuff, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go, because somebody even said, like, the visual novel, which I should have remembered because I played the first visual novel, but, like, the visual novels have multiple world lines, multiple storylines, multiple endings, so it's like, how are they going to reach one ending, and which path are they following to get to those endings? Because they pretty much, like in the first one, mashed all these different storylines together and then picked the Steins Gate World line ending to reach at the end. So they went through each of the stories. They went through, Suzuha's ending, but then wrapped it back around. They went through Ferris's ending. They went through all the different endings and then still managed to get it all together and end it on the Steins Gate World line. I don't know what the final reach, ending of the story would be named in this, but I'm curious to see. Anyway, if you guys want to actually watch the reaction, which I'm sure you do, you're here, head on down to the link in the description. Leave a comment when you're done watching. Come on back, leave a comment, like and subscribe. I always love to hear what you guys have to say about the episode. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. My computer went to sleep, and it's also locked now. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to be there and have a good one.